Good morning everyone. Good morning mga Katandes. Today's morning we will discuss about the different types of transitions. So here we will be able to know and learn more about the types of transitions that we usually use in making essays, sentences, articles, and many more. And how we should use those transitions accurately in making essays and what are the proper functions. Second is use of transitional phrases for coherence and unity. So first, let's know more about what is transition. So are words, phrases, or sentences that signal to the audience the relationship between ideas and indicate when the speaker is moving from one point to the next. So the effective use of transitions is essential for two fundamental elements, principles rather, of good speech structures. So the coherence and unity. In other words, transitions are crucial in speaking and writing because they connect ideas and guide the audience through your message. So they act as a signpost, showing the relationship between different points and indicating when you're moving to a new topic. So by using transitions effectively, you create coherence, where all parts of your message flow logically, and unity, where everything is clearly related to the central theme. So good transitions make your communication clear, organized, and easy to follow. So next is the coherence. So coherence refers to the logical flow of ideas. So effective transitions act as a bridges, guiding the audience smoothly from one major sections. So it's either the introduction to the body, so between the main points, and even between supporting points within a paragraph. Therefore, they prevent the speech from sounding like a series of disjointed thoughts. So coherence, in other words, is the clear and logical connection of ideas in a speech or piece of writing. So effective transitions are like bridges that smoothly guide the audience from one section to or point to the next. So they ensure that the speech doesn't sound like a collection of disconnected thoughts, but rather a unified and easy to follow message. The third one is unity. So unity means that all points in the speech relate to and support the central thesis. So transitions reinforce unity by explicitly rather stating how the preceding idea connects to the upcoming idea, continually tying the various components back to the main topic. So moreover, unity in a speech or writing means that every point is relevant to and supports the main ideas or thesis. Transitions help create unity by clearly showing how each idea connects to the next, constantly linking all parts back to the central topic. So this ensures the audience understands how each point contributes to the overall message. So transitions can be categorized based on their function. So first type of transition is internal previous. So what is internal previous? So it is a statement in the body that forecasts the main points that will be discussed next. Also, these transitions tell the audience what's upcoming next or what's coming up next. So like for example, now that we've established the need for reform, let's turn our attention to the solution. So internal previous act like a roadmap, giving a brief overview of the upcoming points. Proceed to internal summaries. Thus, a statement in the body that summarizes a previous point before moving on. Additionally, these transitions recap what has already been covered. So like for instance, in summary, the high school cost of fuel is caused by three key factors: the production cost, geopolitical instability, and increased demand. Internal summaries help reinforce key points and ensure the audience is following along. The third one is signpost. So what does signpost all about? So signpost is a short words or phrases that indicate where the speaker is in the speech or highlight important information. Another thing is that these are brief words or phrases that guide the audience through the speech. Like for examples, first, next, in addition, and most importantly. So they highlight the speaker's position in the presentation and draw attention to important information. So now moving on to the function of transitional phrases. So transitional phrases are used to connect ideas and create a smooth flow in speech. So here we'll be able to discuss the different examples of transitional phrases categorized by their respective functions. First is adding or continuing. So these phrases introduce additional information or support a previous point. For example, in addition, furthermore, moreover, also, and another important point is. So let's use one of adding or continuing example in sentence. So let's use another important point is. So for example, respect for elders is a cornerstone of Filipino culture. So another point is the emphasis on family unity. Thus, that's how we should use adding or continuing examples in a sentence, particularly the another important point is. Next is a contrasting or shifting. So these phrases indicate a change in a direction or present an opposing viewpoint. So for instance, however, on the other hand, conversely, despite this, in contrast, and yet. So let's use one of contrasting or shifting example in a sentence. So let's have the conversely. So for instance, some believe that foreign investment is essential for economic growth in the Philippines. Conversely, others argue that it can exploit local resources. So therefore, that's how we should use examples in a contrasting or shifting sentence, particularly the conversely term or word. Now moving on to the illustrating or emphasizing. So these phrases provide examples to highlight the importance of a point. So just like for instance, to illustrate specifically, in fact, and this is crucial because. So now let's use one of illustrating or emphasizing example in a sentence. So specifically, let's use this is crucial because in a sentence. Just like for example, protecting the environment is crucial for the Philippines. This is crucial because many communities depend on natural resources for their livelihoods. Therefore, that's how we should use examples in an illustrating or emphasizing sentence. And next is causality and or result. So these phrases show a cause and effect relationship. So examples word are therefore, consequently, as a result, because of this, thus, in sense. So let's use one of causality result example in sentence. So let's use the consequent. So the Philippines is located in the Pacific Ring of Fire. Consequently, it experiences frequent earthquakes and volcanic activity. Thus, that's how we should use examples in illustrating or emphasizing sentence. Lastly is summarizing or concluding. So these phrases signal the end of a section or the entire speech, literally. So words that are examples of this are the in conclusion, to summarize, finally, in short, and let me quickly review. So let's use one of the summarizing or concluding example in sentence. So let's have the let me quickly review. For example, let me quickly review. The Philippines is an archipelago of over 7,000 islands, known for its hospitality, beautiful landscapes, and unique cultural traditions. So therefore, that's how we should use examples in summarizing or concluding in a sentence. So So by using proper transitions, we can ensure that the audience can follow the speaker's logic effortlessly. So making the complex structure of a speech feel natural and clear. In conclusion too, effective transitions are essential for a clear and engaging speech. So they help the audience follow the speaker's logic and understand the relationships between